right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Texans. And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by a man who was undrafted out of Buffalo, standing at 6'7". It's Tyree Jackson.
I know we were assigned this game, but let's face it, this is the one we wanted, isn't it? A chance to watch an MVP candidate perform down the stretches 4 weeks ago. How are you feeling about his chances?
Well, I think he certainly has a shot. It's going to determine what he does and what the others around him do for these last 4 weeks. But more MVP chatter, it seems like, every year as you hit the month of December. This year's going to be no exception.
Yeah, I know he's not ranked #1 right now, but if he plays up to his capabilities, I think he's going to win the thing.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw is Jackson. He's going to find his running back. It's complete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long, an early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. They'll run on first down. Pollard. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago, 9 carries, 54 yards.
And that's just not enough carries for a running back to get loose and really feel like he's into the game, because they have to have enough volume to establish a rhythm, not just for themselves, but also to get in sync with their offensive line so they can read the blocks properly and they can execute them. I expect them to get a minimum of 15 carries in this game, and the optimum number would be 20-plus.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Jackson now. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. Remember, of course, he threw 5 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive, same result here.
But it's hard to believe that you can throw 5 in the previous week and start out your very next game the exact same way. He's going to need a lot of support on his own sideline. Make sure he gets really fully, mentally into this one.
Watch the run. They're running it. Watch 36. 36.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's able to find Wallace. A gain of 6 there on first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Push him back. Charlie. Yep. Hey. check. Mike 50, Mike 50. Better bring it.
Out of the gun now on third down. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. They'll run for the first time here with Brown. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. 55's Mike, guys.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
He'll get this one to Galladay. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We call that sack block.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a third down and long coming up. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, Jackson. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll find Metcalf. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Back to throw here. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
50's the mic. 50's the mic. 2, fellas, let's go. 50, Mike, 50, Mike, let's go.
They'll look to throw here. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
And the Cowboys here on third down bringing in an extra defensive back.
Mike's 50, Mike. On. Let's go. He's coming.
He'll drop to throw. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. He had 3 catches last week. That one his third on this drive alone. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
On first down, Brown. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Set. 50. Plant. Defense, let's go. Check. Crunch. Check your hot read. Watch twist. Hot.
They go right back to the ground here, and Brown. And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side.
Watch the run.
At the 27-yard line.
Set. Go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Let's make these babies cry.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Throwing on 2nd and 3, Jackson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Play action. Now Jackson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Whenever you see a team deciding to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, as a defensive player, my mindset is we've got them now, and that's why they dialed up the blitz and got after them.
But occasionally, you want to pass it on 3rd and 1. I mean, not a lot for sure, but sometimes just to keep the defense guessing.
Oh, no doubt. You want to break tendencies as you go along with a game because you don't want to just say, oh, 3rd and 1, we know exactly what they're going to do. But in this situation, as an offensive lineman, as a running back, I'd want to know why I didn't get the football.
And now out comes Houston. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has, really. They come up here now, first down.
Watch the pass. Check. Check 3.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Eluding the pressure right. Throw right side taken in by Wallace. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run on first down. Brown. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Lock it. 31. Orbit.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 37.
Let's go.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, and then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Watch the screen. Hey, my exit. 50. Mike 50. No gain on this defense. No gain. Hey, Mike said.
2nd and 10. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, but now it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
It's just me and you. Watch that, watch that, watch that. Watch 36. 36 to Mike. Hey, watch the slant, watch the slant. Ready.
Looking to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Back to throw again. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. Now the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more, and, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
Let's go. Check 26, check 26.
Now Jackson on first down. And that's off the mark, incomplete. The intended receiver there was Jonnu Smith, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Jackson to throw. Open man is Galladay, complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. And now he'll tuck it and run. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Out to his left. He's going to take off with it. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Throwing is Jackson, and he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. So we've reached halftime. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Here's Brown. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some slop. Tackling, and how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I'm coming for you, mom. Hey, check 24, check 24. You go tight, ready, go.
They'll run it here with Brown. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Yep, check. Motion out of backfield. Motion out.
On second down, it's Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On first down, Brown. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
H3, 218, chopper. Mike 36, Mike 36. You ain't got nothing. Kill, rock.
On second down now, it's Brown. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check. He's checking. Squeeze, get in there.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Check the backer.
Kill, Sam. On. Sam, go.
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Buzz. Mike's 50. Tighten up. Ready.
Back to throw. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Touchdown, Houston. DK Metcalf with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Texans push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice two-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This will be taken in at the 1. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 and about the 21-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Well, now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. On second down, it's Pollard. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He may try and run for this. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Let's go. Let's go.
And now out comes Houston. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Back now in Houston, it's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the fourth. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
We own them. Mike 50, Mike 50.
They'll look to throw. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Focus, defense, focus. Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50. Hey, keep it up. Let's go.
2nd and 2. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
36.
Check 52.
Go! Motion. Mike's 50, Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
They'll set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. And an alley to run. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DK Metcalf. His 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit, being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
That's it.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Watch the run.
They go play action with Jackson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. Ready, go.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He'll find Metcalf. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Now back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. DK Metcalf there to make the grab. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. He's got Smith here. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
57. Mike, 57. All day, baby, all day.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 30. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 37-yard line.
He's cracked. Grace don't travel. Grace don't travel.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Whip. Watch the whip.
Lock it.
Safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking downfield for Godwin. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Come on, fellas.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
Let's go, baby.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Jackson into the hands of his tight end, Jeff Swain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson is going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. To throw again is Jackson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 34-yard line. To throw is Jackson. Completes it to Jennings. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Jonnu Smith, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And this will be recovered by the Texans. So victory appears to be in sight. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And he's able to find Wallace. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
Set. 60 Pittsburgh.
Check safety, check safety.
General, West.
Hey, we got Mike 50, Mike 50, huh? I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Kill, kill, kill.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Alpha.
82 is mine. I got 82. 82 is mine.
Mike 50. Mike 50.
2nd and 14. Looking for the end zone. Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Let's go, Roll. Hey, Mike 50, Mike 50, Mike 50. Let's go.
He'll look to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. He'll look to throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. DK Metcalf there to make the grab. And the Texans push further out in front. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Cowboys. Kenny Galladay with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys cut into that lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, let's get this. Shoot. Mike 50. Watch me call, 132 fighter. Pick the edge. Go. Spawn dog. No. Check 50. He's coming. Hot.
Looking to throw. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Let's go, dude. Tighten up. Let's go. H3, 218. Chopper. Hey. 50. 50's the mic. I'm coming after you. Check nickel. 61. Matchbox. Light. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50. Silver. Check 24.
2nd and 10. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin.
Yeah, baby. Boom.
So Houston going to come away here with